Father God, thank you so much for this day, and thank you for who you are. You are speaking to us even today, and in every single moment that we are living, you are speaking to us. Lord, we long to hear the gentle yet clear voice of your Spirit, speaking to us beyond the countless noises of this world around us, and beyond the restless thought and all the busyness within us. And we lift our eyes from the many tasks we must do, and from the endless sight of this world, so that we may see your hand at work among us and even in this world. So that let us praise you for what you've done in this world and in our lives with your power and wisdom and love. Lord, make us channels through which your heart and life flow into this world that we are living every single day. And please bless this gathering today. Cover our space and our time with your grace here in Korea and there in South Africa, and prepare our heart. And especially for your spirit and anointing upon Rudolf, Kabutz, who are speaking to us, and use him as your media. And we look forward to what you will do, and we wait upon your heart. 하나님 감사합니다. 우리를 둘러싼 세상의 수많은 소리들로부터 하나님, 또 우리 안에 많은 복잡한 생각들과 감정들, 또 우리가 해야 하는 수많은 일들로부터 하나님, 우리의 마음을 잠잠케 하여 주시고, 하나님 이 시간 말씀하시는 성령님의 음성을 듣게 하여 주십시오. 하나님, 세상의 수많은 볼거리들과 하나님 분주함 속에서 하나님, 우리가 우리의 시선을 들어 하나님 이 순간에도 우리에게 말씀하시는 하나님, 우리 가운데 일하시는 하나님의 그 손길을 볼 수 있기를 소원합니다. 하나님, 그리하여 우리가 하나님 이 세상 가운데 매일의 삶을 살아갈 때에 하나님을 찬양하게 하시고, 하나님을 더욱 기뻐하게 하시고, 하나님으로 말미암아 우리의 힘을 삼게 하시며, 하나님 그 가운데 하나님과 동행하는 하나님, 그러한 하나님의 자녀들이 되게 하여 주십시오. 하나님, 오늘의 이 시간을 축복하여 주십시오. 하나님, 루돌프 카부츠 카탈리스트를 통하여 우리에게 말씀하여 주시고, 하나님 이 세대를 향한, 하나님 이 시대를 향한 하나님의 마음과 하나님의 지혜, 또 하나님의 전략들을 하나님 우리 가운데 풀어주실 때 우리의 마음과 생각이 준비되어 아버지 하나님의 그 말씀하신 바에 반응하기를 원합니다. 아버지, 시간이 헛되이 흘러가지 않게 하시고 하나님의 마음 안에 아버지 하나님, 우리가 하나님의 마음을 듣는 시간이 되게 하여 주십시오. 감사드리며 예수님의 이름으로 기도합니다. 아멘.
Good morning, friends. It's so good to be with you today again this morning in our lovely spring that we have here in South Africa. Welcome to our media engagement session.
네, 이 아침에 여러분들과 함께 할 수 있어서 너무 좋습니다. 여러분 모두를 환영합니다.
It's so great to connect again today, and I am so thankful that we can just be sharing with one another and learning with one another.
오늘도 여러분들과 함께 만날 수 있어서 좋고, 서로 나눔을 할 때 서로에게 유익한 시간이 되었으면 좋겠습니다.
And I really trust that you are doing well, that God is strengthening you, and that He is just equipping you as you are following Him.
여러분들 모두가 강건하셨으면 좋겠고, 이 과정을 통해서 여러분들 모두 유익하게 준비되는 하나님 안에서 준비되는 시간이 되었으면 좋겠습니다.
Last time we were together, we shared about our experiences that we had from the Media Engagement Forum and how God has been working in our lives and through our lives going forward.
네, 우리가 지난 시간에는 포럼에서 어떤 이야기를 했는지 또 그 이야기를 우리의 실생활에서 어떻게 이루어 나갔는지에 대해서 나누었습니다.
So I trust that God has been also working with you and journeying with you to just see how you can be engaging in the media and you've also been using them in the world around you.
하나님이 정말 이 미디어 참여에 대해서 나누는 이 여정 가운데 여러분들과 함께 하시고 함께 걷고 계시고 여러분들을 준비시키고 계심을 믿습니다.
And so today we want to delve into a topic that looks at how does media play a significant role in our society around us.
오늘은 미디어가 우리가 살아가는 이 사회 가운데 어떤 영향력을 미치고 있는지 나누기 원합니다.
And I trust that the session today can be really helpful for you, just for personally to get some insight, but also to see how can you really equip other people in relating to the media influence on their lives.
오늘 이 세션이 여러분들 스스로가 미디어 참여에 대해서 준비될 뿐만 아니라 다른 사람들을 어떻게 준비시킬 수 있는가에 대해서 나눌 때 큰 도움이 될 거라고 생각합니다.
And so today we want to be journeying with one another, and I'm inviting you to come on the journey with me.
그래서 오늘 이 세션을 함께 진행할 때 여러분들 함께 이 세션을 진행한다고 생각하시고 참여해 주시면 좋겠습니다.
So just a few weeks ago, I was able to go and walk in a forest in Latin America.
제가 지난 며칠 전에 라틴 아메리카의 한 숲을 산책할 수 있는 기회가 있었어요.
And so if you have walked in a deep forest, it's very important to have a guide, somebody that shows you how to walk through this forest.
여러분들 큰 숲을 산책해 보셨으면 알 텐데요. 그 숲을 걸을 때 그 길을 어떻게 지나갈 수 있는지 길을 잘 아는 안내자를 갖는 것이 굉장히 중요합니다.
Because in the forest, with so many trees and so many dangerous animals, it's very important to be able to have somebody that guides you through this dense forest.
숲에 너무 많은 나무들이 있고 또 위험한 동물들이 있기 때문에 길을 안내해 줄 안내자가 필요합니다.
There's a text in the letter to the Colossians which encourages us to follow Jesus.
이 골로새서의 성경 말씀은 예수 그리스도를 따라가는 우리에게 큰 격려가 되는 말씀들입니다.
In chapter 2 we read, "Now as you have accepted Christ Jesus as your Lord, you must continue to follow him."
골로새서 2장 6절에 그러므로 여러분은 그리스도 예수를 주로 영접한 것처럼 주 안에서 사십시오.
Let your roots grow deep into him and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow strong and the truth you were taught and you will overflow with thankfulness.
7절 여러분은 주 안에 뿌리를 내리고 세움을 받으며 가르침을 받은 대로 믿음 안에 굳게 서서 감사가 넘치게 하십시오.
When I was walking in the forest, I was surprised how big roots these trees have that go deep into the soil.
제가 숲을 걸을 때 나무를 봤을 때 너무 놀랐던 것은 그 뿌리가 너무 깊어서 그리고 커서 그 흙 속에 얼마나 뿌리가 깊게 박혀 있는지를 봤을 때 놀랐습니다.
and how some of the trees grew really strong by growing for a long time in this forest.
이 숲에서 그 건강한 뿌리가 자라기 위해서는 오랜 시간이 걸렸겠죠.
When we carry on reading in Colossians, we read, "Do not let anyone capture you with empty philosophies and high-sounding nonsense that comes from human thinking and from spiritual powers of this world, rather than from Christ."
골로새서로 돌아와서 8절에 아무도 여러분을 철학과 헛된 속임수로 사로잡지 못하도록 조심하십시오. 이런 것들은 사람의 전통과 세상의 초등학문을 따른 것이요 그리스도를 따른 것이 아닙니다.
For in Christ we have all the fullness of God in the human body. And so you are complete. You are complete through your union with Christ, who is the head over every ruler and authority.
그리스도 안에는 신성의 모든 충만이 육체의 모습으로 거합니다. 그리고 여러분도 그리스도 안에서 충만하게 됐습니다. 그리스도는 모든 권력과 권세의 머리이십니다.
When we relate to the media, I think it is also like a big forest around us with such a huge variety of media that influences us.
우리가 이 골로새서의 말씀을 미디어의 영역과 관련지어 볼 때 미디어의 다양한 기술이 있는 큰 숲 속에 우리가 있다고 생각할 수 있습니다.
So similar in the forest, we can easily get lost in the media landscape.
그래서 우리가 그 미디어의 큰 풍경 앞에서 길을 잃을 때가 많아요.
So before we began walking in the forest, we had a good look at the map that shows us where are some paths that can help us walk through this dense forest.
그래서 우리가 큰 숲을 지나가기 전에 지도를 꼭 봅니다. 어떤 곳을 중점으로 이 길들을 빠져나가야 할지.
So with the media engagement training, we want to help you see some paths to go through the media, but we also want you to guide others to find a good path for using media.
그래서 이 미디어 인게이지먼트 세션을 하는 동안에 그 미디어라는 큰 숲을 어떻게 여러분들이 지나가야 할지 뿐만 아니라 다른 사람들이 그 숲을 어떻게 지나가도록 도울지에 대해서 함께 고민하기를 원합니다.
So as you see on this tree here, there was a big, what do you call it, a vine, a climber that wrapped itself around the tree and actually climbing higher and higher.
여기 보시면 한 초록 색깔의 식물이 나무를 올라서 자라고 있다는 것을 볼 수 있습니다.
And even though the vine tries to wrap around another tree to climb higher, sometimes the vine constricts, pulls together the tree and the tree can die.
때때로 이 식물은 옆에 있는 다른 나무로 옮겨 타서 더 높게 올라가려고 그 나무를 감싸고 올라가곤 하는데 이 과정에서 그 나무가 다른 영양분을 받지 못해서 죽는 경우도 있습니다.
So sometimes as we use the media to climb higher and higher, the media can also wrap itself around us and can almost suffocate us, that we can't get any air.
그래서 이것처럼 우리가 더 높은 곳을 향해 올라가기 위해서 미디어를 사용했는데 그러다 보니까 미디어가 우리의 숨통을 조여서 우리가 길을 잃는 경우가 있다는 거죠.
In this forest, there are so many interesting frogs, like this green one.
이 보이는 초록색 개구리처럼 이 숲에는 흥미로운 동물들도 많습니다.
And so as this frog jumped onto my hand, I asked the guide, "Is this frog poisonous?"
이 개구리가 제 손등에 올라타니까 제가 가이드분께 물었어요. 이 개구리한테 독이 있나요?
And the guide said, "This one, no, that's not poisonous. But the black one over there, if you see that one, then if you touch that one, then you die."
그래서 가이드분이 이 개구리에는 독이 없어요. 그런데 저기 보이는 저 개구리에는 독이 있어서 만지시면 죽으실 수도 있어요. 이렇게 말했어요.
Similar with media. Some media looks very beautiful, but other media is so dangerous it can kill us.
미디어도 동일합니다. 어떤 미디어는 너무 아름다워 보이지만 또 어떤 미디어는 우리가 만졌을 때 우리에게 치명적일 수 있는 거예요.
So when we guide somebody through the media, we want to help them understand where do they see beauty, but where do they also see danger.
그래서 우리가 미디어의 숲을 어떻게 빠져나가야 할지 가이드할 때 미디어의 어떤 부분에서 아름답다고 느끼는지, 하지만 그들이 미디어에서 어떤 부분이 위험한지를 알 수 있도록 우리가 안내해야 합니다.
When I was looking on the floor, on the ground floor of the forest, I often see fruit lying there, like the small fruit you see lying on the picture.
저는 때때로 숲을 다닐 때 숲의 바닥을 또 봐요. 바닥에 어떤 게 있는지.
So this was the fruit from the palm trees that were higher above us.
여기에 보이면 한 나무의 열매가 보일 수 있어요. 이 나무의
And
열매입니다.
only when we looked up into the trees, we could see where the trees are, where the fruit is coming down.
그래서 우리가 열매를 보고는 모르지만 위를 올려다 봤을 때 그 나무로부터의 열매라는 것을 알 수 있어요.
And so as we are following Jesus and using media, we want to see good fruit coming out of how we relate to the media.
그래서 우리가 예수님을 따라갈 때 미디어 참여에 있어서도 어떻게 연관지어야 할지 깨달을 수 있습니다.
And it is that fruit that the other people will see in our lives and how we interact on the media.
그래서 우리가 미디어의 열매가 무엇인지 또 어떻게 다른 사람들과 이것을 가지고 상호작용해야 할지에 대해서도 고민해 볼 수 있습니다.
Through some storm.
Sorry.
This tree had toppled over and it's not standing anymore. The tree fell down.
이 나무를 보시면 이 나무는 더 이상 서 있지 못하고 무너지기 일보 직전이에요.
And now you see the roots sticking high into the air.
그리고 또 뿌리가 나와서 공중에 떠 있는 것을 볼 수 있어요.
When we are involved in the media, there can also be parts of our lives that can break, like this tree fell over. So we also want to be careful as we relate to the media.
미디어에 참여할 때도 그렇습니다. 이 나무처럼 우리의 삶이 어떤 파괴적인 결말을 맺지 않도록 우리가 주의해야 합니다.
So we want to be a cautious guide as we help people to navigate through the media.
우리가 또 다른 사람들이 미디어 참여를 할 때 어떻게 잘할 수 있을지 안내자가 되기를 원하죠.
And so today I want to be showing to help you navigate through the challenges in this forest of media.
오늘 제가 다른 사람들을 이 미디어의 숲을 건너가는 그 안내자가 될 수 있는 도구를 몇 가지 안내하고 싶습니다.
And the one tool I want to show to you is the course by Philip Telfer called Screen Time 101.
그 도구 중 하나는 필립 테퍼가 하는 강의의 코스예요. 스크린 타임 101이라는 제목을 가지고 있습니다.
We had Philip Telfer joining us at the Media Engagement Forum last year at Hansarang Church, and he talked briefly about this, and I want to show you some of the resources from this tool.
우리가 지난번에 미디어 포럼을 교회에서 함께 운영했을 때 필립 테퍼가 이 코스에 대해서 잠깐 설명을 했었는데요. 그 리소스 중에 몇 개를 오늘 보기를 원합니다.
So some of you may have also met Josh Soul, who was at the forum last. There was a young man from South Africa at the forum last year called Josh Soul, and I want to tell you about him.
작년에 그 미디어 포럼에 왔던 남아프리카 출신의 조시 소우라는 어린 남자 청년이 있었어요. 제가 그에 대해서 조금 나누기 원합니다.
So Josh is here in South Africa, and he's responsible for the youth ministry in his work at the church every week.
그는 사우스 아프리카에서 사역을 하고 있는데 유스 청소년 사역을 하고 있습니다. 그리고 매주 오는 그 청소년들에 대해서 그가 돌보고 있습니다.
And so he has been using this Screen Time 101 with the young people of his church.
그가 이 스크린 타임 101을 그의 교회에 오는 청소년들과 함께 사용했습니다.
And so for a number of weeks, they had the young people using the material, learning about the material, and learning how to navigate through the media.
그래서 몇 주 동안 이 청소년들과 함께 미디어에 어떤 매체들이 있는지 또 이 매체들을 통해서 어떤 걸 배워야 되는지에 대해서 그들이 함께 나누었습니다.
So when the children, the young people got together, they showed videos from the course, they were in conversation, and then they did some exercises of how to relate to the media.
그래서 청소년들이 함께 모였을 때 영상을 하나 보고 그것에 대해서 대화를 하고 또 그것을 통해서 어떤 활동들을 진행하고 그 삶 속에서 어떤 미디어에 대한 적용을 해야 할지 또 나눴습니다.
So Josh was using this material to help the young generation become sensitive and aware how the media tools influence their lives.
그래서 조씨는 이 미디어를 사용해서 청소년들이 이 미디어가 그들의 삶 속에 어떤 영향을 미치는지 민감하게 반응할 수 있도록 사용했습니다.
And then they were using the material of Philip Telfer to help the
또 이 미디어를 사용해서 그들이 건강한 미디어 습관을 가질 수 있도록 도왔습니다.
So this course has got a number of sections, and we want to just look at some of them to get you an idea of how the course can help you, but also young people.
여러 가지 섹션들, 부분들이 있어요. 이 코스에는. 그런데 특별히 오늘은 이 섹션이 여러분들에게 미디어를 어떻게 분별할 수 있는지 도와줄 수 있는지에 대한 강의와 또 여러분들이 어떻게 다른 사람들이 미디어를 분별할 수 있도록 도울 수 있을지에 대해서 보기 원합니다.
And so what we want to be doing is to just look at how does this material really guide you through the different aspects of media.
그래서 오늘 이 강의가 여러분들이 미디어의 그 숲을 빠져나가는 여정 가운데 어떤 안내자가 될 수 있지, 어떻게 안내자가 될 수 있을지에 대해서 살펴보기 원합니다.
So this course here on Screen Time 101 guides you through 19 sessions that help you understand what is important in media.
이 코스 101에는 19개의 코스들이 있고 미디어를 어떻게 분별해야 될지에 대한 이야기들이 있습니다.
And you see there's an introduction that begins with the whole topic and then goes into many aspects of how does media influence our minds, our relationships, our emotions, and how we can be careful when we relate to the media.
여기 보시면 서론이 먼저 있고요. 그 다음에 중점적으로 두고 있는 것은 미디어가 우리의 삶에 가지는 영향력, 우리의 마음과 우리가 맺는 관계와 우리의 감정에 어떤 영향력을 미치는지, 또 어떤 것을 우리가 미디어를 사용할 때 조심해야 되는지에 대해서 이야기하고 있습니다.
So what we want to do today is to look at the introduction to the course, then to look at the fourth topic, which gives us some very good ideas of just how can we not only look at media, but also have other activities in life that really help us.
우리가 오늘은 먼저 서론을 보기 원하고요. 그 다음에는 네 번째 토픽에 대해서 살펴보기로 원합니다. 여기에는 미디어를 보는 것 외에 어떤 다른 활동들이 우리에게 유익한가에 대한 이야기들이 나오고 있습니다.
So we will watch two videos, and then after the videos, we will then be in small groups to discuss what are we learning from this course.
이 두 가지 영상을 보고 우리가 소그룹으로 나눠서 이 강의를 통해서 어떤 것을 배웠는가에 대해서 나눌 것입니다.
So at this point, I just want to introduce Philip Telfer and let him share the introduction with us.
네, 이 영상에서 필립 텔퍼가 나올 거고요. 필립 텔퍼가 자신에 대해서 소개하고 또 이 영상들에 대해서 소개를 해주실 거예요.
So here's the introduction video from Philip Telfer. Share wanting to help us with through this video.
네, 이게 서론 영상이고요. 이 영상을 통해 어떤 부분을 도와주시고 싶으신지에 대해서 나눠주실 것입니다.
When it comes to screen time, are you finding that your life is out of balance and you are losing focus? If you need help, then this is for you. Welcome to Screen Time. Hello, I'm Philip. Direct and parents nabs that come from our screen-saturated society for over 20 years. And I'm a father of 4 children, 2 who are now adults and 2 teens. At Media Talk 101, we approach the subject from a Christian worldview, applying timeless biblical wisdom to the unique issues we face today. So, how do we learn how to best handle the digital tools, the new platforms for social interaction, and the endless possibilities of screen-based entertainments? We're all facing legitimate challenges when it comes to how we interact with smartphones, video games, smart TVs, video and music streaming services, news media, and the endless array of technologies affect our lives for better or for worse. Maybe you're realizing, like many others, that your family is out of balance and losing focus. I'm excited to offer this new online course, Screen Time 101. Finding that your life is out of balance and you are losing focus? If you need help, then this is for you. Welcome to Screen Time 101. Hello, I'm Philip Telfer, Director of Media Talk 101. I've been helping youth and parents navigate through the unique issues that come from our screen-saturated society for over 20 years. And I'm a father of 4 children, 2 who are now adults and 2 teens. At Media Talk 101, we approach the subject from a Christian worldview, applying timeless biblical wisdom to the unique issues we face today. So, how do we learn how to best handle the digital tools, the new platforms for social interaction, and the endless possibilities of screen-based entertainments? We're all facing legitimate challenges when it comes to how we interact with smartphones, video games, smart TVs, video and music streaming services, news media, and the endless array of apps, and how all these media and technologies affect our lives for better or for worse. Maybe you're realizing, like many others, that your family is out of balance and losing focus. I'm excited to offer this new online course, Screen Time 101, the first of its kind to help you find balance and regain focus. You'll learn how you can benefit spiritually, emotionally, physically, and socially as you handle media and entertainment with wisdom and discipline. This course is geared for middle school and high school students, but it's also appropriate for young adults, parents, and church or school leaders. It can be used by an individual or as a family or a group. Did you know that according to the CDC, teens spend between 7 to 9 hours every day in front of a screen using entertainment media? Very few people these days will argue with the fact that screen time has become an increasing problem in their personal lives and in their families. But many don't know how to set a better trajectory. This course is not an anti-media or anti-entertainment focus. Youth and adults alike need help with learning how to handle the digital tools in a way that is beneficial rather than being detrimental to personal well-being and relationships. I want to help equip you with helpful tools for carefully navigating today's digital landscape. We have so many amazing digital tools today that provide tremendous benefit, meaningful connections, and productivity. But many people feel like their lives are becoming controlled by technology instead of technology being under their control. This has resulted in a variety of problems, including identity crisis, the fear of missing out, depression, confusion, and anxiety, to name a few. A person's social experience is not necessarily richer or deeper for all the digital interaction, and many are starting to realize that relationships are becoming more shallow and artificial. Today's connectivity is not necessarily drawing us closer to one another. Instead, we're feeling more disjointed. This generation has experienced the explosive growth of new technologies and innovative digital platforms for communication, for entertainment, for business, for productivity, for sales and advertising, and, unfortunately, for illicit purposes also. Yet, we haven't had the education, the media literacy training to keep pace with all the rapid changes. This course will not only help identify the problems, but point you to solutions, to helpful action steps, to answers for common questions that are being pondered. You'll learn why your worldview matters, how to battle boredom, and how to keep from being suffocated by social media. You'll benefit from learning how to develop healthy convictions and make good decisions based on biblical principles, and avoid being cheated from living the full life that God wants you to live. Technology is powerful and needs to be handled carefully. You'll learn about the positives and negatives of the digital tools at our fingertips, as well as some tips and tricks to help you succeed. I'll help you understand why it is important for you to have value-based goals that can motivate you to set realistic expectations. We live in an all-you-can-eat media buffet culture, and we're piling a lot of content on our plates. And we're not always careful to choose our content wisely. You'll learn how to develop good habits and self-control as you establish a healthy media diet in your daily life. With all the noise, the distractions, and convenient means for escapism, many feel distant from God and question the possibility of experiencing anything different. Learn how your media choices may be affecting your spiritual life and how to break through the digital distractions in order to see God more clearly. Let me paint a picture for you of what this could look like if you take to heart the lessons in this course. It means living in the digital age and utilizing the tools in beneficial ways, not just for amusement. It's about not going overboard on entertainment and choosing to moderate your elective time. It describes someone who helps blaze a trail for this generation and demonstrates what it looks like to regain focus and find balance in your life when it comes to entertainment, media, and technology. Most importantly, in this course, you'll receive encouragement to fix your eyes on Jesus and to have a real and growing relationship with Him. And that relationship with Christ can help you maintain healthy tech and media habits that won't undermine your physical, emotional, mental, social, and spiritual health. In the first lesson, I'll share my personal story of why I began to think more deeply about these subjects when I was only 17 years old, and why I began my own journey towards media discernment, and how that related to my personal walk with God. I hope you'll join me in this journey.
Thank you so much to Philip Telfer for his introduction to the Screen Time 101 course.
네, 서론에서 필립 텔퍼께서 많은 이야기를 해주셨는데요. 너무 감사합니다.
As you realize, he is talking from his own experience, but he is also sharing lessons of what he is discerning is helpful in the media.
그가 이 영상을 통해서 자신의 개인적인 이야기뿐만 아니라 미디어를 분별하는 것이 얼마나 큰 유익을 그의 삶에 가져다 주었는지 나눠 주실 겁니다.
And thank you for your understanding that we switched the video to play it locally. And I trust that you were able to see and hear the video better as we did the switch over just now.
네, 저희가 영상을 처음부터 끝까지 보지 않고 몇 개를 골라서 보는 것을 이해해 주시기를 바라고요. 여러분들의 삶에 여유가 되시는 시간에 이 영상을 한번 쭉 보시기를 권장합니다.
So when we look at the material that Philip Telfer covers in the course, we see there are many different topics that are addressed.
저희가 영상에서 다양한 미디어에 대한 주제들을 살펴볼 수 있습니다.
So we want to now look at just one of these topics because I think this is a very helpful one for you to get to know some of the flow of the material.
제가 토픽 중에 하나를 오늘 골랐는데요. 이것을 고른 이유는 여러분들의 큰 도움이 될 것 같아요. 미디어의 어떠한 큰 흐름을 여러분들이 볼 수 있을 것 같아서 이것을 골랐습니다.
Now, this section 4, which is about the power of media, shows us that media has got lots of strength to influence.
이 섹션에서는 우리에게 얼마나 많은 부분에서 미디어가 큰 영향을 주고 있는지를 살펴보면서 미디어의 힘을 볼 수 있는 영상입니다.
Philip Telfer talks about that media is not something that we say is just bad, but it's something that has got a lot of power to influence us.
필립 텔퍼가 말을 했죠. 미디어는 나쁜 것이 아니라 우리에게 큰 영향력을 가지고 있는 강력한 도구다라고 말했습니다.
And he then wants to help us to see how do we relate to this incredible strong power that media has on our lives.
그리고 그는 우리가 이 강력한 미디어를 우리의 삶 속에서 어떻게 연관짓고 어떻게 소비할 수 있는지에 대해서 도와주길 원합니다.
So where he has been helping is to see that we also want to fill our lives with other activities than only the media screens.
필립 델퍼가 그런 것처럼 저희도 미디어뿐만 아니라 다른 다양한 활동들로 우리의 삶을 채우기를 원합니다.
So let us now go into this fourth video. We will see a part of it, not the whole video, just to see how does Philip Telfer really help us understand the way we relate to this incredible strong influence that media can have in our lives.
그래서 우리가 네 번째 영상을 볼 건데요. 이 영상을 전부 보진 않고 일부분만 볼 거예요. 이 부분을 보면서 미디어가 우리의 삶에 어떤 영향을 미치고 있는지에 대해서 살펴볼 수 있기를 바랍니다.
Thank you. We'll go into the video right now.
네, 이제 영상을 시청해 보겠습니다.
Imagine that you're in your backyard and you notice that your neighbor, I'll call him Joe, is building a shed in his backyard. He's using a hammer and nails to frame the construction, and you say, "Looking great, Joe." And he replies with a simple thanks and keeps working. There's nothing disturbing about what I just described. But what if you saw Joe the next day in the grocery store and he's holding his hammer and staring at it the whole time that he's shopping? You try to say hello, but he's distracted with his hammer. You see him the next day driving through the neighborhood, and he's holding the steering wheel in one hand and holding his hammer with the other, and swerving and driving erratically because he keeps looking at his hammer. The following day, you see him in a local restaurant, but he still has his hammer, and he's hardly ever looks up from it. You'd probably be thinking, Joe has a problem. He needs to get some help. He's really fixated on that hammer of his, and I think he's going crazy. You probably have already guessed where I'm going with this fictional illustration. If you simply replace the hammer with a smartphone, suddenly Joe doesn't have a problem anymore. It's how everyone behaves. It's normal. The smartphone is a powerful tool, and in itself is not evil. In fact, most technologies are not inherently evil, but they are powerful. The technologies are not always the problem. It's often how we use them. Our problem is not confined to smartphones. Similar concerns arise when considering computers, video game consoles, televisions, and other electronic devices. Growing in media discernment doesn't mean we have to live life without smartphones and other technologies, but it does mean that we are in need of self-control and wisdom to know how to carefully handle these powerful tools. Are these new technologies under your control, or are you under their spell? This generation is suffering from its love affair with all things tech, and the results manifest in extremes like texting and driving deaths, or less newsworthy occurrences like sleep deprivation, or inattentiveness to others, especially parents and children, or the lost practice of reflection and deep thought, and the neglect of Bible reading and prayer, to name a few. These digital tools allow us to connect and to communicate around the world, but have we lost track of the people in our own house and across the table from us? I want to make good use of today's technology to benefit the kingdom of God and to strengthen my family, but there's an important difference between technology and media, and it's easy to get them confused. So let me explain how I am using the word technology. In the broader sense, the Pilot G2 gel pens that I often use for writing are a relatively new technology. I'm not writing with a quill and inkhorn, nor do I have any interest in raising concerns about the use of modern disposable gel pens over feathers. When people use the term technology in today's vernacular, it's often in the much narrower scope of consumer electronics. Now, in this course, I'll be using the term more narrowly still as we ponder the use of common electronic devices for communication, education, and entertainment. So, I'm not talking about electric razors or cordless drills. When I use the limited scope of the word technology, I'm referring to the devices that we interact with that deliver some type of digital media. These devices are known as mediums. A non-electronic analogy would be a painter who uses a canvas, brushes, and acrylic paints as his medium to produce a painting for others to see. A sculptor uses the medium of wood, stone, or clay to create a three-dimensional image. An author is indebted to the work of a printer and bookbinder, or the newest on-demand printing machines used by Amazon or others to take his thoughts and replicate them using the medium of ink and paper to produce a book. The finished painting, sculpture, or book is each considered media. A television is a medium. The TV shows are the media. A smartphone is a technology, but the smartphone app is a medium, and Facebook posts, YouTube and TikTok videos, Instagram posts, and Twitter feeds are all considered media. The mediums are the new technologies, and the content sent and received are the media. Just as media can be helpful or harmful, technologies can be blessings or burdens. Throughout this course and in everyday use, these two subjects, tech and media, are inevitably jumbled together because they correlate to each other. Technology is not evil, it's powerful. Smartphones are powerful tools. Think about everything you have access to in the palm of your hand: a phone, a TV, a computer, the internet, a video player, a video conferencing device, a game device, a word processor, a weather station, and so much more. You probably haven't stopped to imagine what it would have looked like 30 years ago for someone to have all of this with them at all times. They'd be hauling around a cart full of devices and a generator to power them all. Forget Joe and his hammer. People would have thought that person was crazy. I realize it's hard for you to imagine life before smartphones. More on that later. While we're on the subject, though, of words and definitions, let's get a couple more out of the way for the purpose of this class. The word entertainment at its root means to hold the attention. In that case, I hope this course is entertaining in that pure sense of the word. I hope it holds your attention in order to teach these helpful truths to you and that you personally benefit by it. But not all entertainment has the same end goal when it holds your attention. Instagram, TikTok, and other social media want to hold your attention so that they can sell your time to advertise or collect data to sell to others. The documentary The Social Dilemma, produced by Netflix, does a great job making that point. The Saturday morning cartoons I watched as a kid were intended to amuse children and therefore make their parents happy to own a television and tune into their station in order to sell advertising and stay in business. But the words entertain and amuse are very different. The word amuse comes from the root word muse, which means to think deeply about something. And when you put an A in front of muse, it makes it a negative and literally means to not think. I have more to say about that when we dig deeper into the subject of your worldview and how it is impacted by media and entertainment. But for now, let's keep on the subject of definitions. You've now learned the difference between technology, mediums, media, entertainment, and amusement. Let me add another, which is recreation. I believe there's an appropriate place in our lives for recreation. One dictionary gives the following definition for recreation: the refreshment of the mind and body after work, especially by engaging in enjoyable activities. an activity that a person takes part in for pleasure or relaxation rather than work. I love the Webster's 1828 dictionary, which says, refreshment of the strength and spirits after toil, amusement, diversion, or relief from toil or pain, amusement in sorrow or distress. There's a need for recreation in our lives when we're working hard and being responsible day after day. But today, many young people and some adults avoid hard work and responsibilities in order to amuse themselves through screen time. That's a distortion of this important subject of recreation. When recreation undermines hard work and responsibilities and facing real difficulties in life, it's no longer recreation in its proper sense. It's deconstruction or demolition of a balanced life, a whole life, a purposeful life. True recreation has a beneficial purpose in your individual life and in your family's life. Let's consider some alternate forms of recreation to the default of more screen time. Let me warn you that many ideas will cost you more time, energy, and possibly money. Let's ease into this by pointing you to board games. A board game is interactive. It can foster conversation while playing the game. They're not usually addictive, but they do require more energy. I confess that there are times when I would rather not play a board game because of the investment of undistracted time. And depending on the game, it may cost me some mental energy as well. Plus, the games my kids want to play are not always the games I would prefer to play, and vice versa. I'm probably not alone in this, and I suppose that many parents like myself would rather take the path of least resistance and veg out in front of a screen with the kids, or let them veg out in front of a screen. There are likely 1,000 ideas that you could consider as alternatives to screen time. I'll let you do your own thinking, but I'll share a few personal decisions I have made, not as a prescription for you, but as a description of what one family does for alternatives. One of the major decisions I made years ago was to get my son involved in a hobby that could also earn him some money and help him learn some transferable skills in life. CJ was 11 years old when I bought a wood-turning lathe as the first installment in an adventure of woodcraft. A lathe is a tool that rotates a block of wood between two centers, while the craftsman uses sharp tools to shape the wood from square to round, then other tools to make useful or decorative items. In our case, I taught my son how to make classic wooden toys, starting with spin tops. Every Saturday, for more than 6 years, my family has successfully sold our products at a local farmer's market. That's not all. My 3 daughters have done the same. My youngest was only 9 years old when she began wood turning her own projects and joining us at the farmer's market to help with sales. She's now 15 and selling her products online. She and her older 2 sisters are all skilled woodworkers, along with other artistic endeavors. Now, I realize this is an unlikely fit for 99% of families. It's not my intention to inspire you to start a woodworking business, but I do want to inspire you to think of other activities you could get involved with. This woodworking endeavor has cost me more time, money, and energy than simply letting my children waste untold hours of their time playing video games or watching TV. I believe it has been worth the sacrifices I've made. I work alongside them, make my own projects, and have funded our dedicated workshop with my own product sales. I don't expect my children to make a career of woodworking, and that was not the point from the beginning. The main idea was to give them something meaningful to occupy their time and help them learn transferable skills. For many of you, you might be thinking, that's not an entertainment alternative. That doesn't sound fun at all. You're right. It hasn't always been fun, but it's purposeful. There's something rewarding to finish something you've crafted, and even more rewarding when others like it enough to buy it. Let me give you another alternative that we...
Thank you so much just for that we could see this video together as Philip Telfer is inspiring us about how do we relate to this huge power that media has on us.
이 영상을 통해서 많은 것을 볼 수 있었는데요. 특별히 필립 테퍼께서는 우리에게 그 미디어가 우리의 삶에 가지고 있는 강력한 힘에 대해서 한번 살펴보기를 원했던 것 같아요.
So in our family at home, we have some very strict guidelines with mobile phones.
저희 가족에서는 특별히 굉장히 엄한 핸드폰 사용에 대한 규칙들이 있어요.
When we sit together at the dinner table, cell phones, mobile phones are not allowed in our hands at all.
저희가 저녁 식사를 함께 하게 되면 핸드폰을 줄 수 없게 됩니다.
We don't even want the phone lying on the table. It's either in our pockets or it's on the table somewhere else.
저희가 그 핸드폰을 식탁 위에 두는 것도 허락하지를 않아요. 그래서 주머니에 넣거나 다른 곳에 보관해야 합니다.
That means when we are eating together and talking with one another and we have a question, we do not go to the phone to find the answer.
그리고 우리가 저녁 식사를 먹고 대화를 하고 서로에게 질문을 할 때 이 핸드폰의 울림이나 그런 것들이 방해가 되지 않기를 원해요.
If the question is so important that we need to find out what is online, we can do so after the dinner conversation.
만약 질문 속에서 나오는 어떤 인터넷에서 찾아야 하는 도움을 받아야 하는 상황들이 있더라도 그 저녁 식사 이후에 찾도록 저희가 합니다.
And by having this principle that we do not use our phones while we're eating and while we're talking to each other, we put them away. That means we focus on one another and we focus on connecting with one another as we enjoy meals together.
이 원칙, 저녁 식사를 하거나 대화를 할 때 핸드폰을 근처에 두지 하겠다는 이 원칙은 서로 연결됨 그리고 서로 대화함에 집중하겠다는 의도를 가진 원칙입니다.
This does not mean our children are uninformed. Normally they would know information way before I know about it.
이것이 온라인을 통해서 얻을 수 있는 어떤 지식이 없기 때문에 그들이 지식을 얻지 못한다고 여길 수 있지만 그렇지 않습니다. 왜냐하면 저희들이 또 알고 있는 것을 아이들에게 전해주는 시간이기 때문이에요.
When I tell our children about some new technology that has just been invented, they tell me, oh, this was already released 3 weeks ago.
그런데 제가 새로 발명된 새로운 기술에 대해서 아이들에게 말해줄 때가 있는데 아이들은 저한테 말해요. 이거 이미 3주 전에 저희한테 열린 사람들한테 공개된 그런 뉴 테크놀로지예요 라고 이야기할 때가 있어요.
So our children have been using technology to use media to learn, to explore, but to also do things beyond the media.
그래서 아이들에게 이런 새로운 기술들에 대해서 탐험하고 서로 한번 시도해 보는 것을 허락하지만 sorry, can you say it again?
I'm saying our children are also doing activities different from media.
그래서 이런 새로운 기술 외에 다른 활동들을 하기를 제가 아이들한테 원합니다.
From when they were very young, they began building robots, and they have been doing this for many years and have learned so many skills in programming, building robots.
예를 들면 한 아이에게 저희가 로봇을 만드는 것을 오랜 시간 허락하면 그 시간을 통해서 로봇을 어떻게 만드는지, 그 로봇을 만드는 그 프로그램을 어떻게 프로그래밍 하는지를 배울 수가 있겠죠?
So by learning from screens, but also doing things with your hands, our children learned wider activities in life.
그래서 스크린을 제외한 다른 손으로 하는 활동들을 통해서 삶에서 정말 배워야 할 점들에 대해서 배울 수 있습니다.
So as we just wrap up this section on topic number 4, I want us to go through this short quiz together.
저희가 이 섹션 4를 마무리하면서 이 네 가지 퀴즈를 여러분들이 풀어보기를 원해요.
So I want you to help me find these answers here. The first question is: the smartphone is inherently evil, a powerful tool, a waste of time, or useless invention? Which one is the right answer here?
네, 스마트폰에 대한 네 가지 정의가 있는데요. 첫 번째, 의도적으로 악하다. 두 번째, 강력한 도구다. 세 번째, 시간 낭비다. 네 번째, 쓸모없는 발명품이다. 인데 여러분들 어떤 것이 답이라고 생각하시나요?
Which one is the right answer here? Powerful tool. Yes, quite correct. That is the right answer. Now, if we look to the next question, in order to carefully handle today's digital tool, what do we need to do?
두 번째 질문입니다. 오늘날의 디지털 도구들을 조심성 있게 다루기 위해서 여러분들은 필요합니다에 대한 네 가지 질문들입니다.
Who can help us with the correct answer?
네, 여러분들 골라보실 수 있어요. 첫 번째, 자기 절제, 두 번째, 지혜, 세 번째, 부모님의 허락, 네 번째, 이 위의 모든 것. 이 세 가지 전부.
Which answer should we choose here?
네, 여기서 어떤 것이 정답일까요?
Is it the self-control, wisdom, parents' permission, or all of them?
All of them.
Correct. All of these help us to relate to the media in a valuable way.
네, 이 모든 것들이 저희들이 디지털을 미디어를 지혜롭게 사용하는 것을 돕습니다.
And now we want to look at what is digital or electronic media? Is it new technology? Is it the content that's saved or received? Is it a smart TV or smartphone app?
네, 세 번째입니다. 디지털 또는 일렉트로닉 미디어가 무엇인가? 첫 번째, 뉴 테크놀로지, 신기술이다. 두 번째, 새로운 기술을 통해 주고받는 콘텐츠이다. 세 번째, 스마트 텔레비전이다. 네 번째, 스마트폰 앱이다.
So what is the definition, the understanding of digital or electronic media? Which one is the correct answer here?
네, 미디어에 대한 올바른 정의가 무엇일까요? To the content sent and received
Yes.
by.
That's right. It can be
네.
different tools that can send it, but it's about the content that's being sent.
네,
What does
서로
amuse-
주고받는 콘텐츠였어요.
What does the word amuse mean? Is it something funny, something to think about, to enjoy poetry, or to not think? What does the word amuse mean, as Philip Telfer explained?
To nothing.
Yes, and we think to amuse ourselves, it is just fun, but the meaning actually means we do not think.
네, 어뮤즈라는 단어가 즐거움이라고 많이 생각하지만 사실은 재미있는 것을 넘어서 생각하지 않는 것에 대한 의미를 가지고 있었습니다.
Now we look at the word entertain. This word here.
이제
Does that mean to-
entertain이라는 단어에 대해 생각해 보기 원합니다.
So what is the meaning of the word entertain? Be amused, invite someone for dinner, to hold attention, or to watch a movie?
네, entertain이라는 단어의 의미는 무엇일까요? 첫 번째, 즐거운 것. 두 번째, 누군가를 저녁 식사에 초대하는 것. 세 번째, 주의를 끄는 것. 네 번째, 영화를 보는 것. 3. To hold the attention.
Hold attention. And so recreation, is that the refreshment of the mind and body, something we should not undermine hard work, something that can have beneficial purpose, to be out of balance in life, or all of them? What is recreation?
네, 레크리에이션의 의미는 무엇일까요? 몸과 마음의 재충전. 그리고 두 번째, 고된 일을 없애지 않는, 없게 하지 않는 무언가. 세 번째, 삶에서 유익한 목적을 가질 수 있게 하는 무언가. 네 번째, 여러분의 삶의 그 균형에서 벗어나게 하는 무언가. 마지막, 위의 모든 것 다.
So recreation, which one should we answer here?
네, 여기서 무엇이 정답일까요? Refreshment of the body and mind and body.
Yes, that's what Philip explained. It helps us to refresh, to rejuvenate. And then the last question here, what are some good alternatives to screen-based recreation? Playing games, craft, reading a book, or outdoor activities, or maybe all of these.
네, 마지막 all the above.
Yes, that's what Philip Taufer explained. And now we can actually go check here. We say finish the quiz.
네, 이제 퀴즈를 마무리하고요.
And here are our results. And let's see.
우리의 결과는
The results are appearing. Oh, we got one wrong.
우리
So
한
we can
문제가
actually
틀렸어요.
Look through. Where's the one where we went wrong? Recreation is all of the above. Okay.
네, recreation은 마음과 육체의 재충전이었습니다. 재충전이 아니라 위에 있는 모든 것이었습니다.
So all of these help us understand recreation.
네, 이 모든 것이 리크리에이션에 대한 의미들이었어요.
So through these videos, you've been getting an understanding of the type of teaching that Philip Taufer gives through his course.
네, 그래서 이 영상들을 통해서 필립 텔퍼가 어떤 이야기들을 이 코스를 통해서 하고 싶은지에 대해서 짐작할 수 있으실 것 같아요.
And the questions help to enforce or to review some of the materials.
그리고 이 코스는 미디어가 어떤 영향을 가지고 있는지 미디어의 전체적인 것에 대해서 우리가 리뷰할 수 있는 그런 기회인 것 같습니다.
So we now want to just get into some conversations with one another to ask how can we relate to some of this powerful media?
우리가 이제 서로 대화하면서 이 강력한 미디어를 어떻게 다룰 수 있을지에 대해서 이야기해 보기 원합니다.
And so these questions are now relating specifically to the section number 4 about how do we experience this power of media in the lives, in the people around us.
네, 이 질문들은 특별히 우리가 방금 본 강의, 네 번째 강의에 대한 질문들이에요. 미디어가 얼마나 강력한지, 우리의 삶에 어떤 영향력을 가지고 있는지 살펴볼 수 있는 질문들입니다.
So I remember very clearly one day at church, our elders in the church were collecting the offering and gathering the donations people were giving for God's work.
Sorry?
There was a situation in our church service. The leaders were collecting the love offering. People were giving their money for God's work.
교회 리더들이 헌금에 대해서 살펴보면서 사람들이 어떤 목적과 의도를 가지고 헌금을 했는지를 살펴보고 있었던 상황이었어요.
And I noticed from one of the people who was collecting the donation as walking through the church, the congregation, the mobile phone, the smartphone started beeping with a message.
그런데 어떤 분의 스마트폰이 계속해서 울리는 상황이었어요.
And I was wondering, what would this person do?
그리고 이 분은 어떤 걸 하고 있지? 제가 궁금해하기 시작했어요.
And to my surprise, he took out his phone, looked at it, and said, "What is this important message that is coming right now?"
놀랍게도 그분이 핸드폰을 꺼내셔서 어떤 중요한 메시지들이 자신에게 오고 있는지 살펴보셨어요.
And I was asking myself, is this message really so important that he has to disrupt what he's doing in the church service? Just look at the message quickly.
그런데 제가 스스로 질문하게 됐어요. 이 메시지들이 정말 우리가 지금 교회에서 하고 있는 일들보다도 너무 중요해서 지금 당장 살펴봐야 하는 문자들이었는가? 제가 질문하기 시작했어요.
So I hope you have a good conversation with each other as you work through these 5 questions with one another.
네, 이 5가지 질문들을 살펴보시면서 서로 유익한 대화들이 이어나가기를 바랍니다.
Please make sure that you also talk about question 5, about some ideas of how do you spend creative times with other people without using a screen.
특별히 5번 질문, 시크릿 타임 대신 어떻게 다른 사람들과 창의적인 시간을 보낼 수 있는지에 대해서 꼭 나눠보시기를 원합니다.
Yeah, and then let's come together in 25 minutes at 15:15 that we can just get some brief feedback.
네, 25분간의 소그룹 시간을 갖고 그 이후에 피드백 시간을 잠깐 갖겠습니다.
Okay. Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Sunny, and in our groups, first question, we think there's three situations. Like first situation is driving while only looking at the phone, and second situation is walking while looking at the phone, and then third situation is parents looking only at the phone while out with their children. So we think that all of these can carry accident risk. And next question, second question, we think two impacts. So first, for positive impact, it can be useful to access to information, and we can gain useful knowledge, and we can build expertise. And then networking with special limitations, opportunities for rich sharing, and then the ability to spread to the gospel beyond time and space. On the other hand, we can have the negative impact, like encourages comparisons with others and leads to continuous self-display and adopting it as one's identity, a masked identity. And then the time can slip away quickly, like killing time. And it can result in uncontrollable addiction. And next, third question, nowadays enjoyment often comes from quick, short bursts of brain stimulation, like shorts in YouTube. So as a result, it becomes harder to watch long videos like movies. And people only watch shorts highlights, sports highlights, and just read, and the reading comprehension skills decline. And fourth question, we can set healthy rules together and evaluate one's current level of technology use, so we can check how much and what is being used. And there is importance of platforms with distinct purpose. Like in Korea, there is Pongdang for Christian OTT. And the worship teams and camera teams use apps to build worship systems. And the last questions, we think many activities like Lego, biking, visiting craft workshops like woodwork, glasswork, jewelry, and then the driving and walking. So we have the question about that. So if we meet the now generations, how can this be contacted to today's media generation kids, and what would their reaction be? So we share our individual the experience each other, and since they may have never experienced those things, so they could adapt surprisingly quickly and enjoy them. And it happens in our real experience too. So thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for your feedback. It's been really great to hear from your experiences. Thank you so much.
So our group talked about the indiscriminate media use and its influence. So these days, it's not uncommon to see motorcycle riders watching entertainment shows or TV programs while driving. Such scenes illustrate just how deeply media has infiltrated our daily lives. I too often find myself turning to YouTube, community platforms, and social media. Following the YouTube's recommendations, I end up consuming content passively. Watching media has become a habit, something I do whenever I have a spare moment. It helps me release stress or take a mental break, even if I just for a short while. And the second question is, when I read harsh or critical comments online, even if I had my own opinions at first, I find myself swayed by those voices. I start to doubt my initial judgment, especially when I see influential figures or thought leaders expressing their ideas to people. I find myself wanting to adopt their worldview, and it shows how indiscriminate information can accumulate in my mind and dilute my own perspective. And the third question to the answer is, media today often prevents deep thought. Instead of encouraging reflection, it offers short bursts of joy, laughter, and sensory stimulation. While I may initially believe I'm watching media just for entertainment, I come to realize that it absolutely fills my mind and heart. Media is no longer just a pastime, it plays a role in shaping how I think and feel. The fourth question is, however, media isn't always negative. As suggested by Rudolf media's engagement theory, active and intentional use of media can lead to meaningful learning. For example, there was a time I had to play an old piano in a public space. Nobody knew how to operate it, but I found a YouTube video that explained everything in detail. Thanks to that, I was able to figure it out. In this way, media can be a powerful tool for acquiring knowledge we might not otherwise access. And the fifth question is, to avoid becoming overly dependent on media, I've been turning to activities like book sharing and exercise. These alternatives helps me maintain a healthier life balance, allow room for deeper thinking, and bring a more meaningful sense of joy and fulfillment.
Thank you so much, and I hope it was a great experience even playing the piano in the public space.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Seo. And about question number 1, what is the craziest situation that you have seen someone or on their phone? A person walking up or down a steep staircase, like that dangerous moment. And question number 2, how do things like social media and videos change the way we think and act? It stops us from doing what we ought to do, from thinking and organizing our thoughts. It weakens real-life encounters and makes relationships superficial. And it reduces physical movement, and it standardizes lifestyles and values, thereby weakening creativity and autonomy. And it becomes an easy solution for human needs like relationships, recreation, rest, and intellectual curiosity, ultimately diminishing all of them. And about question number 4, instead of seeing technology as bad, how can I learn to use it in a good way? And rather than completely avoiding it, because we lack self-control, we should use it in a useful and appropriate way. And creating educational and gospel-focused content like People Who Met Jesus. And we should find ways to apply useful information and knowledge gained from technology to real life. For example, watching cooking videos and making the dishes to eat. And question number 5, how can you spend creative times with other people without using screens? Create a real-life experience from what was learned through media. For example, if a teenager enjoys a shooting game, encourage them to play a real-life survivor game. Utilize tools that can be enjoyed together. For example, playing board games or card games or cooking, talking, and eating together with others. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, all the feedbacks were done, and the other thing, the rest of the feedbacks will be sent to you through the message, through Mary.
Thank you so much. So as we wrap up, I just want to share one more resource with us.
네, 저희가 마무리하기 전에 한 가지 리소스를 더 몇 가지를 안내해드리고 싶습니다.
So we've seen the course that Philip Telfer offers. There are 2 books that can also be used from him.
네, 필립 텔퍼 목사님께서 쓰신 2가지 책도 굉장히 유용할 것 같아요.
The one is a book called Media Choices, which help young people to relate to media, similar to what is in the course.
한 가지는 미디어 선택이라는 것인데 이것은 특별히 청년들이 미디어를 어떻게 잘 분별력 있게 활용할 수 있을지에 대한 내용이고 또 강의에서도 이 부분을 보실 수 있습니다.
But through this book, he also addresses a number of other topics that do not get covered in the course.
근데 강의에서 다뤄지지 않은 몇 가지 주제들이 더 책에는 담겨 있어서 여러분들에게 안내해드리고 싶습니다.
And then Philip Telfer has just finished the draft version of this book, A Survival's Guide for Parents in the Digital Age.
그리고 또 다른 책은 필립 텔퍼 목사님께서 막 쓰기를 마치신 책인데요. 도와주세요. 그 스마트폰이 우리 가족을 먹어버렸어요. 라는 제목의 책입니다.
So this book will be released soon, and I understand that Philip Telfer is already planning to translate this book into Korean to also make it available in your country.
그리고 이 책이 아직은 발간되지 않았지만 이제 곧 발간될 예정이고 필립 텔퍼 목사님께서 한국어로도 번역해서 한국 출판사에도 공개될 예정입니다.
This tool of the course and also the books can help you to guide yourself through the media.
이 강의들과 이 책들이 여러분들의 미디어를 어떻게 분별력 있게 볼 수 있을지 안내해 줄 것이라고 믿습니다.
And these tools can also be helpful for you to help others to guide them through the media.
또 우리 자신만이 아니라 다른 사람들이 어떻게 미디어를 분별력 있게 볼 수 있을지 준비시켜 줄 것입니다.
So I want to leave you with this closing question. How do we guide other people for walking through this very dense and very complicated forest of media?
이 마무리 질문을 드리면서 마치고 싶은데요. 굉장히 이렇게 촘촘하게 나무들이 있고 굉장히 거대한 복잡한 이 미디어 숲을 걷는 다른 사람들을 어떻게 안내할 수 있을까라는 질문을 드리고 싶습니다.
So I trust that this time has been precious for you, that you have learnt, that you've learned from another, you've learned from Philip Telfer.
그래서 이 강의, 이 세션을 통해서 여러분들이 스스로 이 숲을 어떻게 건너야 할지 또 다른 이들 어떻게 안내할지에 대해서 배우는 시간이 되었기를 바랍니다.
And that you can find ways to help other people, help other young people to find their way into a healthy way of living with the media.
또 어떻게 다른 이들, 특별히 그 어린 청년들을 건강하게 미디어를 소비할 수 있도록 안내할 수 있을지에 대해서 알 수 있는 시간이었길 바랍니다.
I've summed it up. It's been great working with you today.
네, 감사합니다. 여러분들과 시간을 가질 수 있어서 좋았습니다. 감사합니다.